Digging massive holes in the earth has come a long way since people did most of it with pickaxes and prayer. These days, mining looks a lot like a science fiction version of some sort of dystopian society. The machines are enormous, the colossal vortexes in the ground are on a scale that is out of this world, and the zeal with which mining companies are stripping the globe's resources is on par with fictional evil villains. So without further ado, let's go digging with 20 of the biggest mining machines ever made. Number 20. The Bagger 293. First up, we have a whopper. This is the hilariously named Bagger 293, and it's one of the most enormous excavation machines that's ever existed. It's a ridiculously huge monster of a machine, at 96 meters high and weighing in at an eye-watering 14,200 tons. The Bagger 293 was designed and built to mine a type of low-grade coal called lignite, specifically in the state of North Rhine-Westphalia in Germany. The machine is built to extract the lignite from the earth at a very rapid rate because, you know, we have to use up all the fossil fuels as quickly as we possibly can. That stuff needs using. Anyways, it can dig lignite out of the earth at a rate of 240,000 cubic meters every single day, because the faster we extract all the fossil fuels, the sooner we can burn them up in a fiery mess of global warming. Yay! This machine is powered by a bunch of different generators and motors, and it can scoop huge quantities of material and plonk it out onto conveyor belts so that it can head to the processing plant. Although the big machine is capable of a lot of intense digging, it still needs a team of trained people to operate it. One is required to run the Bagger 293 itself, and several more are needed to manage all the other junk that's used in the process. Although this is undoubtedly an effective mining machine, there are huge environmental concerns. Eco groups have voiced their worries about the way that the machine functions, as well as the insatiable appetite for fossil fuels. Before we centipede will crawl on your face when you're sleeping. What is this madness? I mean, I've seen some insanely large mining machines in my time on this earth, but this one is out of control. Is this really an actual mining machine in China, as we've been told, or is it just some sort of trick of the light? I mean, how do you even drive the thing? The people look like ants, and this is ridiculous. That's enough for now, thank you please, but I want to know what you think. You're all the mining machine experts here, so is this a real monster machine, or is it just a mirage? Go on and share all your thoughts in the comments section down below by using the hashtag #FancyTopic. Number 19. The Bagger 288. Next up, we have another big old bagger, where this time it's the thrilling 1978 edition of the Bagger 288. I know, it's a doozy. This machine also goes by the less fun name of Excavator 288. It was constructed by Krupp, a German company, and was designed to be used specifically by Rheinbraun, an energy and mining firm. The excavator is a kind of mobile strip mining machine or bucket wheel excavator. Costing $100 million to make, it was the biggest land vehicle in the whole world when it was completed. Incredibly, it was actually even bigger than NASA's crawler transporter that moves around the space shuttle and the Apollo Saturn V into position, and that thing is enormous. It took more than 10 years to develop and build the 95-meter tall, 215.5-meter long machine, and when it was all said and done, it weighed a staggering 45,500 tons. That is taller than the Statue of Liberty and heavier than the Eiffel Tower. These sorts of machines have the scale of buildings, and these kinds of excavators are used in open pit mines and can move about 8.5 million cubic feet of soil in a single day. However, they're also used to excavate lignite and are part of the very destructive fossil fuel industry, so they may be impressive, but they're also kind of evil. Number 18. Caterpillar 6090 FS. This is the world's biggest hydraulic excavator. This monster mining machine has an operating weight of 1,102 tons and runs at 4,500 horsepower. It is, according to some measures, the biggest hydraulic excavator in the entire whole world. Built in the United States, the Caterpillar 6090 FS was designed to replace the Bucyrus RH400, which was previously the world's biggest hydraulic excavator. It's thrilling stuff, but don't worry, we'll definitely be looking at that big-ass mining machine in a minute. So the main exciting features of the 6090FS that make it bigger and better than its predecessors are its rollback limiter that's designed to stop spillage onto the cab. And really, nobody enjoys spillage, now do they? But it also still has maximum bucket capacity. Nobody believed that those two features could exist alongside one another, but there it is, the proof that they can, and indeed do. As well as all of these thrilling extras, the excavator also has additional reinforcements on its undercarriage. And who doesn't need that, I ask you? As well as the other crawler components, this is to protect against the tyranny of wear and tear. Awesome. Bucyrus RH400. This is the fabled Bucyrus RH400, the machine that once held the coveted biggest hydraulic excavator title. My eyes! It's just too much. I'm really dazzled. The tedious and extremely regular story goes that Caterpillar, the American digger giant, bought out the mining equipment division of a German company called Terex in 2010, and Bucyrus was acquired in 2011. It included in that deal was this masterpiece of mining beauty. The Bucyrus RH400 is a front shovel excavator that weighs a significantly hefty 889 tons. It measures 8.6 meters across its undercarriage, and the crawler has a length of 10.98 meters. But what made this machine so remarkable was that the shovel could hold as much as 45 square meters worth of rock in just one single scoop. This meant that the machine was capable of moving more of your stones and other junk than any other machine, at least for a short while. Number 16. The Komatsu D575A 3SD Dozer. Next up, we have a contender, where this time it's a machine that people claim is the largest bulldozer in the world. But that's what they all say, right? What are the statistics that show this thing is a monster in its own right? Well, it features an operating weight of 152 tons and a blade capacity of 69 square meters. The makers claim that this bulldozer is by far the biggest and in turn the most productive in the whole business of dozing bulls, or whatever that word might be. Essentially, the whole premise of this machine's massive achievement comes down to its sheer size. The bigger the bulldozer, the more stuff they can push around. So it only makes sense that the biggest would also be able to shove the most junk about. And what that really means for those in the mining and earth-moving biz is that it adds up in pennies as well. The overall running costs for this big boy are considerably lower per cubic meter on the account of the machine's size and consequent efficiency. The engine inside of the beast is an SA12V17OE, whatever the heck that means, and it delivers 858 kilowatts at 1800 RPM. It's been mounted to the main frame with some lovely rubber cushions in order to stop it from vibrating so madly and being so noisy. Wasn't that considerate of them? The comfort for the operator is also of central importance in these bulldozers. This is one of their very favorite things to boast about, so it must be absolutely comfy up there in the cab. Number 15. P&H 4100 XPC AC. Here we have an electric rope shovel, and a jolly big and exciting one it is as well. Lucky old us. This is a machine designed for power cutting. It's been carefully constructed to maximize load capacity while reducing overall running cost. It is a mining corporation's dream. Maximum profit for minimum outlay, which is great. The motors for this big rope shovel have been especially designed for mining and have been built to withstand the tough challenges that the mining environment places on equipment. The manufacturers claim that these machines have motors and transmissions that are meant to at least provide reliable service. And they're also made to be stable, which should be a given in a massive heavy machine. This is not the sort of thing you want toppling over all willy-nilly. It has twin-leg handle that is supposed to stop the dipper from rotating or twisting, and I know the question that's on all of your minds is, what about the undercarriage? Well, have no fear, that undercarriage is indeed protected by a P&H track shield. Whew! Number 14. The Caterpillar 797F. The Caterpillar 797F comes in second place in the old load capacity stakes, but that doesn't mean that this truck is not an impressive feat of mechanical engineering. This thing is definitely up there with the very best in the dumper trucking world, and where the big Belarusian rival dumper could lug a bit more weight around, the Caterpillar 797F can still transport up to 400 tons, but it can travel at the heady top speed of 68 kilometers per hour, which is 42.25 miles per hour. Steady on there, don't go mad with all that speed. All that heft does need some solid and frankly gigantic tires to rest upon, and this one runs on 6 Michelin XDR or Bridgestone VRDP tires. There's no messing about. Only the grittiest and best quality tires can stand up to task and carry this heavy load. It houses a C17520 diesel engine with a 4-stroke compressor and also has hydraulically powered transmission. This is one heck of a big truck, but answer me this, how do you even park the thing? It's like driving an entire building around. Number 13. The Litorno L2350. Apparently this next monster machine is a little bit special. That's right, it's even been approved by our old clipboard clutching pals at the Guinness Book of World Records. This is the P&H L2350 wheel loader, which used to go by a more simple L2350 loader moniker. It's officially the world's biggest earth mover, and I always thought that accolade belonged to Neil Diamond. Anyways, this machine is apparently built by Komatsu Limited, but it was originally designed and manufactured by Litorno Incorporated until being acquired, along with that company, by Marathon in 1972. After that, the company shifted hands again in 1986, and it became Rowan Companies, and then Joy Global back in 2011. These machines have an operational payload of 80 tons and can lift stuff up to 7.03 meters high, with a reach of 3.5 meters. Number 12. The Liebherr 9800. The R900 crawler excavator is an 800-ton mining machine that is equipped with a Cummins engine topping out at 4,001 horsepower. It is yet another machine that has the categorization of biggest, where this time it's considered the biggest in the crawler industry. Now, it's kind of niche, but it's still impressive, I suppose. Oh, and it also has a really big bucket, which appeals to some people. With its capacity of 42 square meters, apparently that is well above average. But the other thing that people especially enjoy about this big fat machine is that it comes equipped with a quick hitch hydraulics as standard. What more could you possibly even ask for? Well, I know that you genuinely thought that it couldn't get any more exciting than that, but you would be wrong. Very, very wrong indeed. Not only is this a marvelous digger for all of your most essential mining requirements, but it's also available as a Lego construction set. I know, it's awesome. The kit has a total of 4,108 pieces, and then, when you've built your very own replica crawler excavator mining machine, you can play with it, and it has motorized functions that can be operated via a smart device. The fun just never ends. Oh, this is the best news ever. Number 11. The BelAZ 75710. If you're building a truck that needs to work in the Russian mining industry, then it had better be gigantic and super sturdy. I mean, this is serious business after all. The BelAZ 75710 is allegedly the biggest dumper truck in the world, so that should be sufficient for even the most serious of Russian mines. Developed by the Belarusian truck company, this massive vehicle has a capacity of a whopping 496 tons, and it measures over 67 feet long and 32 feet wide, and it stands at an insane 26.5 feet tall. The BelAZ 75710 weighs a mighty, hefty 360 tons, which rests on 8 colossal Michelin tires. Now you may ask how something this size can even move, and it can, and actually it can kind of shift for something of this size. This mega truck is powered by a diesel engine with a 16-cylinder turbo compressor, and it's able to reach a top speed of 40 miles per hour, which may sound slow to any petrol heads out there, but is surprisingly quick for a vehicle that's encumbered by so much weight. 10. Sandvik DD422i. These are the developmental drill rigs offered by Sandvik. They are substantial and robust machines designed to perform careful and precise underground drilling procedures, and are advertised as an ideal choice for underground mine development and small-scale tunneling. These machines are built to have a wide array of drilling functions, and that's supposed to reduce over-braking but still maximize the amount pulled out of the mine for each blast. The working environment inside the cab of one of these machines has been ergonomically designed to make for all of the best visibility and reduces the noise level for the operator. It has a telescopic feed for use in areas where space is limited, and that makes these development drill rigs really useful for multi-purpose drilling. 9. The Hitachi EX8007. The people at Hitachi make a few rather lofty claims about their machinery, but this one takes the biscuit. They say that machines don't have to sacrifice performance to be sustainable, but come on now, let's be reasonable here. Even if the machine itself is built in a so-called sustainable way, it is not built for a sustainable purpose. Surely we can all agree that gouging huge holes into the earth and tearing out all of the fossil fuels, destabilizing the environment, and using up a lot of stuff in the whole process, well, that's most definitely not a sustainable purpose. Besides all of that twaddle, what else do they have to say about their big fat crawler excavators? Well, they have energy optimizing solutions. Sounds like they're ticking those sustainability boxes right there. And these include electronically controlled hydraulic pumps, an optimized cooling package, enhanced hydraulic circuits, and various different emissions options in order to meet regulations. But again, emissions are not the only unsustainable part of this industry. These things do, however, naturally minimize costs and maximize productivity, meaning the Earth can be decimated at a rapid pace for the cheapest of price. It's a win-win. Whatever. Number 8. Komatsu PC8011. Next up, we have this surface mining hydraulic excavator. It's a Japanese build that's been created to be the best at handling all of those extra tricky large-scale mining applications. You know, we've had them all. This clever machine is all decked out in loads of fancy teeth. It has an adjustable loading shovel bucket capacity, and who doesn't need one of those? Which can be totally customized for the needs of any type of project. There's also a super nice LED screen in the cab, not for watching your favorite fancy banana videos, although who knows, perhaps that is also customizable, but rather it gives the operator a full 360-degree view of their surroundings. This, I presume, is for all that parallel parking they have to do. Oh, and naturally, these things are fully optimized to reduce their emissions as they plumb the depths of the earth for unsustainable and finite resources. Huzzah! Number 7. The Liebherr R996B. Here's another great big mining machine. We really are spoiling you today now, aren't we? Next up is another hydraulic excavator. It, regrettably, cannot be the biggest, since I think we already had that one, but perhaps it can dance or sing or something. Well, actually, it can dig, and it mainly digs coal. This massive digger was created and manufactured by Liebherr, a German-Swiss company that makes a whole bunch of heavy machinery. Compared to some of the other machines we've seen, this one seems positively dainty, but don't be fooled by its lightweight looks. The thing can dig the dirt and fill up its bucket with the best of them. The thing with this excavator is that it's designed to work in a variety of different environments, making it a versatile and still extremely heavy-duty machine. It has extremely powerful stats in terms of its ground pressure and breakout force, and, to put a cherry on top, it is also able to function effectively in a diverse range of climates. anything from tropical to extreme cold, and the machine still has it handled. 6. The XCMG XE7000. Here we have an offering from the world of Chinese mining excavators. This is the catchily named XE7000 by the equally catchily named XCMG. It's deep joy, I'm sure. These sorts of mining excavators are mostly used for coal mining activities, but they've apparently been designed to be able to handle a whole host of other exciting digging tasks in the realm of the construction industry. These excavators have all the snazzy features that you would expect from a super shiny new digger. They have an external valve flow regenerative system that collects and reuses the energy that is produced by the loading and lifting activities of the machine. Now that is quite fancy, and I wish my body had such a feature. Basically, this machine has such high-end tech for monitoring itself that it essentially has a brain, one that can only be used to monitor its own activities and obsess about mining, but that's better than many of us have. Watch out, the machines are coming. Number 5. The Hyundai R1209. Now for another crawler excavator. We really know how to live now, don't we? This time we're headed to South Korea and we're going back in time. The Hyundai R1209 was built back between 2012 and 2020 by the South Korean Hyundai Heavy Industries Company. These were a heavy-duty construction machine that weighed a substantial 118 tons and measured 14.58 meters in length, 5.56 meters in width, and were 6.12 meters tall. Their hefty specs included a tear-out force of 581.5 kN, and they had a dredging depth of 8.01 meters. So, these machines were designed to be able to withstand some very tough conditions and perform some fairly heavy excavation jobs. These excavators had a maximum reach of 13.76 meters when operated horizontally, and all of that important bucket capacity. I know you've all been waiting for that. It was an impressive 5.3 units a minute. Not bad bucketing if you ask me. As well as all of the usual jazz, these machines were given the luxury cab edition of air conditioning, so no more sweating in your digger. Sweating is for all those mugs who are working outside. Oh, and in case you were worried, they also had a diesel particulate filter attached, so you can be sure they won't be doing any excessive polluting or environmental damage. Well, sort of, if you don't count all the excavating. Shall we move swiftly on then? 4. The Volvo EC950F. Volvo doesn't only make sensible vehicles for soccer moms and dog owners, they apparently also have a finger in a whole bunch of other, much more industrial sort of pies. This is the Volvo EC950F. That's a great name right there. Really memorable. Well done at that department. These are, as you guessed, heavy-duty crawler excavators. Who would have ever thunk it? Anyways, let's see what delicious specs this digger has. As you would expect from Volvo's biggest excavator ever, there are plenty of jolly sensible safety features, as well as a lot of comfort elements. It has a wide track gauge, a counterweight system, and, this is the part that we all no doubt envy, a retractable undercarriage. It is the combination of all these features that keep the machine stable when it's in operation, and that also means that it can be used with ease on the most rough and tricky of terrains. These excavators are also marvelously versatile, and they have an ability to use up to 20 different attachments, which is considerably more even than any deluxe model Hoover. These make it easy to switch between jobs if necessary. The wear-resistant teeth and faster cycle times support deeper digging and longer-lasting machinery. 3. The Liebherr T284. This big fat dumper truck with a big fat capacity is one of two models by the renowned heavy vehicle experts Liebherr. And if you have mining to do, then these trucks will have your heavy stuff lugging needs covered. So both the Liebherr T284 and its dumpy sister, the T282C, are mega dumper trucks with a capacity of 400 tons. With the solid quality Liebherr engineering team behind their design, These are some high-quality vehicles with all of the useful and practical features that a massive truck needs. They are the second largest in the world, a title they share with our old pal from before, the Caterpillar 797F. With a top speed of 39.7 miles per hour, they are surprisingly nippy, relatively speaking, when you consider the massive scale of the things. They measure in at over 51 feet long and almost 32 feet wide, not to mention they're over 24 feet tall. These fatties each weigh a whopping 661 tons. Just think about that for a moment. That's more than 4 times as heavy as the Statue of Liberty, or the same weight as 3 average American houses. So, be sure to mind your toes. Number 2. The Terex MT6300AC. This massive haul truck is designed and manufactured by Bucyrus International Incorporated in the United States. It's a massive dump truck in the Ultra class, and yes, you guessed it, this truck is up there along with the others that we've seen as one of the biggest in the world. In fact, this Big Bertha shares that second place with both the Liebherr and the Caterpillar. They're all equally big and capable of huffing a whole 400 tons of payload around with them, which is pretty impressive stuff. The MT6300AC is the company's biggest offering, but it doesn't scrimp on the functionality in other areas. It measures 51 feet long and 31 feet wide, standing at 26 feet tall with a fully loaded top speed of 40 miles per hour. So this large lady can kick it with the rest of these big fat trucks, and the vehicle uses a diesel AC electric powertrain that slings out about 3,750 horsepower. Number 1. Cat Draglines 2800. Now we have the most oxymoronic and perhaps just the most moronic claim of the day. These are the Cat Draglines, and they claim to be the mining industry's most environmentally friendly excavators. Now, you may ask if the marketing department of the US-based company is just a bunch of jokers, or perhaps this is just a tone-deaf slogan. But, and this is the real problem, they don't even register the dark twisted irony of that claim. These machines, they say, will offer the lowest material removal cost per ton, and they'll consume less power and emit fewer greenhouse gases than any other machines of their ilk. But they are still being used to drag fossil fuels out of the earth and plunder the last of the natural resources by ripping open the earth and taking them, then sending them to be transported and likely burned to make power. It's genius, I'm sure. But if that's all too a bit ecological for you, you can rest assured that they're still stuffed full of all the tech you would expect from the brand. They're big but not too big, and they cost a bit less to begin with compared with other draglines. So your pockets won't feel the impact anywhere near as heavily as the earth will. These are made to ensure long operating life and low cost of ownership, thus doing the most important thing of all, maximizing your profit. Brilliant! I'll take 3.